Did you know there are 10 personality disorders and each has its unique traits and behaviors? They're basically when someone's behavior, thoughts, and feelings go way outside what is normal, and it causes them a lot of problems in life. These patterns become ingrained over time and affect how the person sees themselves, others, and the world. The DSM-5, which is like a guidebook for mental health disorders, lists 10 different types of personality disorders, each with its unique symptoms that doctors look for when making a diagnosis. Sometimes a person might have mixed symptoms that overlap between different disorders. Let's take a look at each one and see some examples of how they can show up. And if you like this video, like and subscribe to the Human Mind Project. Number 1, paranoid personality disorder. People with paranoid personality disorder often have an intense distrust of others, which can make them see harmless actions as threatening. They may always be on high alert, suspecting hidden motives or plots in even the most innocuous situations. This can lead them to constantly question the loyalty of those around them, including friends, colleagues, and romantic partners. They may examine every little detail, overanalyze innocent gestures or comments, and find it difficult to build relationships based on trust. Unfortunately, this chronic suspicion and fear can make it hard for them to connect with others and lead fulfilling lives. Number 2, the schizoid personality disorder. Someone who has a schizoid personality disorder tends to keep to themselves and show very limited emotions. The person with this disorder usually doesn't go out of their way to establish strong relationships, and they prefer to do things alone. They may seem like they don't care about social interactions and often stick with their routine. For instance, they're happy being by themselves and don't need many friends or close relationships. They tend to avoid social events and don't have the motivation to participate in them. Although their behavior may seem unusual to others, since it's not common to want to limit social interaction and distance oneself emotionally from others. Number 3, the schizotypal personality disorder. Schizotypal personality disorder is a condition marked by quirky beliefs, behaviors, and unconventional thinking. Folks who have this disorder often embrace ideas that seem out of the norm, like supernatural occurrences and magical thinking. They might also act strangely, dress in odd ways, and have trouble forming close bonds with others. For instance, a person with a schizotypal personality disorder might be really into astrology or claim to have extrasensory powers. Their unconventional viewpoints can make it tough to relate to people who don't share their idiosyncratic beliefs or understand their peculiar ways of thinking. Number 4, antisocial personality disorder. When someone has an antisocial personality disorder, they often don't seem to care about the feelings or well-beings of others. They might act impulsively and try to control others to get what they want, without paying attention to what society thinks is right or wrong. Sometimes people with this disorder have broken the law or lied a lot in the past. This might include hurting people for their benefit, just like the character Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. It's important to remember that although we may see examples of this disorder in movies or TV shows, it's a real mental illness that needs expert help. Number 5, borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder is when someone's emotions, thoughts, and relationships are all over the place. It can feel like a roller coaster ride where they experience extreme highs and lows. People with this condition might do impulsive things and feel scared of being left behind. They might also have trouble handling their feelings and forming lasting relationships. Some movie characters, like Clementine from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Tiffany from Silver Linings Playbook, show signs of borderline personality disorder. But remember, fictional characters aren't real people, and a mental health expert can provide an accurate diagnosis, so don't jump to conclusions right away. Number 6, histrionic personality disorder. People with a histrionic personality disorder are always yearning for attention and craving to be the focus of everyone's attention. To achieve this aim, they tend to be overdramatic and heightened in their behavior. They execute theatrics so that the spotlight stays on them, It's fascinating to ponder upon fictional characters like Michael Scott from The Office and connect them to this disorder. But we should remember that it's crucial to seek professional help from a qualified mental health professional for an accurate diagnosis. Number 7, Narcissistic Personality Disorder. If someone always thinks they're better than everyone else, doesn't care about others' feelings, and craves constant praise and admiration, they could be dealing with narcissistic personality disorder. These folks tend to see themselves as the cream of the crop and expect everyone to know it. They may even manipulate their way to get ahead and believe they're owed special treatment. While characters like Iron Man or Patrick Bateman might show signs, it's always best to talk to a mental health professional for a proper evaluation. Number 8, Avoidant Personality Disorder. People who struggle with avoidant personality disorder deal with intense worries about being rejected or made to feel embarrassed, often causing them to avoid any social interaction. They might have a constant belief that they're unable to socialize well and not as good as others. Their apprehension and uncertainty can significantly influence their capacity to build and maintain relationships. One might recognize some of these traits in characters like Elsa from Frozen, who isolates herself from others due to her fear of revealing her magical powers and facing rejection. But remember, it's crucial to seek the advice of a qualified mental health professional and get a comprehensive assessment for a professional diagnosis. Number 9, Dependent Personality Disorder. A dependent personality disorder is when someone relies too much on others for decision-making, approval, and support. People with this disorder are afraid of being alone and feel like they can't do things on their own. They might do anything to stay close to people and avoid being rejected or abandoned. Characters like Cinderella, who depend entirely on others for guidance and validation, are often associated with dependent personality disorder. But it's important to remember that fictional characters are often exaggerated. Number 10, the obsessive. If you're someone who values keeping things tidy and under control, you might wonder if you have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, or OCPD for short. This disorder is marked by an intense need for orderliness, perfectionism, and strict adherence to rules. People with the OCPD might get so caught up in the details that it interferes with their relationships in daily life. You might think of Hermione Granger from Harry Potter as an example of someone with OCPD. But it's important to remember that fictional characters are often exaggerated. And once again, I can't stress it enough that you must go to a qualified mental health professional to get yourself evaluated if you think you or someone you may know may have one of these personality disorders. Although identifying and addressing personality disorders can present difficulties, they are not reflections of personal inadequacy or shortcomings. They are real mental health conditions that can greatly affect one's lifestyle and happiness. It is important to seek assistance from a professional mental health provider to receive an accurate diagnosis and effective treatment. If you found this valuable, don't hesitate to subscribe and receive more inspiring content from the Human Mind Project. Until next time, take care.